This year, the cell therapy industry, or CTI, is expected to have $5.1 billion in global sales. What is the current cell therapy market size and value? As the cell space continues to grow, forgive the pun, New York-based NeoStem continues pursuing preservation and subsequent enhancement of global human health through advanced cell therapy. Let's learn more about the really fascinating world of cells. Dr. Robin Smith is NeoStem's CEO. Dr. Douglas Losordo is the Chief Medical Officer. Thank you both very much for joining us here on New to the Street.
Thank you for having us.
Great to be here.
Dr. Smith, let's start off. Give our viewers the 411 historical background on exactly what NeoStem does and how the company came to fruition in your involvement.
So NeoStem is an exciting biotechnology company that's focused on turning cells of the body into therapies for unmet medical needs. And we've grown the company through acquisition, where we've acquired very exciting technology in different platform technologies to hit diseases such as diabetes, cancer, heart disease, so we'll hear a little bit more about that. But also we have a contract manufacturing businesses that services the regenerative medicine as a whole.
And when you say regenerative medicine, we're talking about?
We're talking about repairing tissue and restoring function that is damaged either due to a trauma or just aging.
Now, I understand that you just announced phase 2 data. What was the specific objective of that individual trial?
So this was a study of using, again, a patient's own cells to treat a recent heart attack, to prevent ongoing damage, and to avoid the long-term complications of the heart attack. It was a phase 2 study, so the objective is to make some observations in that trial that tell us that the therapy is, first of all, safe, it's very important, and that the treatment is having some signs of having a beneficial effect in the patients.
Now, Dr. Losordo, in the fairness of full disclosure, what did you learn from the initial read from the phase 2 preserve acute myocardial infarction, which most people don't know, our viewers might not know, is another term, the medical term for a heart attack?
Right, so this was a cell therapy targeting patients with a recent heart attack. And as Robin mentioned, there were many things that we measured, but if you ask me, what's the most important message about this study? Certainly internally, we have to make a determination, do we want to take this program forward? And the answer for us internally at NeoStem is definitely, we got the information from this study that tells us we'll go to the next step. What does that mean? Well, we're able to see that the treated patients had a lower death rate than the subjects who received the control material, and the treated subjects had an improvement in heart muscle function compared to controls that was dependent on the dose of cells that they received. And from a standpoint of understanding that biology, that dose-response effect was very important for us to see.
Now, we all know you can't patent a cell, so to speak, so how does NeoStem protect your cardiovascular repair program? Also explain what the program is about and how it works to the average viewer who's not familiar with that terminology.
Sure, so it's a great and important question that you ask. NeoStem's technology is designed to take a patient's own cells, enhance their function, and deliver them back to the patient. So there's no risk of immune rejection or anything along those lines, but we're delivering a cell that is actually more potent than when we took it out of the patient. So that's the intellectual property there. It's the cell, sure, we can't patent that, but how we treat those cells when they're outside of the body, that's the special sauce, if you will, that makes this preparation unique to NeoStem and gives the cells their potency. What are the cells doing? They're going into the body to do what nature pre-programmed them to do, but based on NeoStem's technology, they do it a little bit better than they would have normally.
Now, I understand NeoStem has an important immunotherapy program that specifically treats recurrent melanoma, which the American Cancer Society says will affect at least 76,000 people each year in the United States.
That's right. This study is entering into a phase 3. That's the pivotal last stage of development, and if successful, would lead to the approval of this therapy. The phase 2 research on this showed that in patients with recurrent stage 3 or stage 4, the sickest patients with this dreaded form of skin cancer had more than a doubling of their survival compared to control subjects. So we're building on that very exciting phase 2 data in this pivotal program.
What is the next big thing for NeoStem?
Well, we have multiple platform technologies. You know, certainly the cancer therapy is exciting, and we'll be starting that pivotal trial very shortly. And we believe it's a platform technology that can be used for other cancers like liver, lung, ovarian cancer, just to name a few.
Quickly, what makes NeoStem unique within the space?
I think several factors do. One is, as Robin mentioned earlier, we have not only the ability to develop these different cell therapies along a clinical path, but actually, very importantly, the ability to manufacture the cell products. That contract manufacturing organization, which is part of the NeoStem family of companies, gives us, I think, a leg up in terms of technically growing the cells, developing the therapies, and then a development team that can do the clinical trials.
So it sounds like you have some exciting programs moving forward. How do you plan on bringing them to fruition?
We do. We have multiple programs that we'd like to get through the development program as quickly as possible, and some we'll do on our own, and others will work with different partners to get the technologies into the clinic.
Now, Dr. Losordo, you have been a cardiologist for over 20 years helping patients, and Dr. Smith, we commend your work at NeoStem. Together, it's a high calling that we admire here at New to the Street. And it's really, really positive. It's really great things that you guys are doing with NeoStem.
Great. Well, thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us here on New to the Street. Please keep us in the loop as NeoStem charges forward.
Will do.
We will.
To learn more about the good work of NeoStem, visit neostem.com or newtothestreet.com. We're back after this.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.